Hey everybody, today we are going to do a simple before and after video, and we're going to do some long overdue maintenance on my office tank. I did a water change not too long ago, but it could use another one. I've been doing top offs for several weeks now. This tank loses a lot of water through evaporation, not only being open topped, but this pothos plant pulls a lot of water out of it too. And so I'm topping this tank off fairly frequently and not really doing many water changes on it. So today we need to get in there and get the glass wiped down. You can see the glass has got a bunch of algae growing on it. It's really difficult to see in the tank once you get up close. Of course, we're going to do the simple water change. I'll vac the gravel very lightly. I don't really scrunch down into the gravel, but we'll go over the surface and we'll pick up any loose stuff. That section in the middle there between all those rocks tends to collect a bunch of crud. We'll get in there and vac some of that out. And we will get in and do some long overdue work on my filter here. You can see it's been a little while since I've gotten in there and done anything on the filter, so we're going to get in there and get that cleaned up too. Honestly, I'm probably going to leave most of that moss growing attached to it, but the filter itself is probably really, yeah, that's pretty grungy and gross, so all that's going to get pulled out and taken care of. We can even see the moss is growing up onto my biosponge. It's been in there so long. So that's going to be the main thing I do, is get that filter taken care of. But otherwise, we're going to do a little water change, get that glass wiped down, and it should be looking nice. So consider this your before. And there's your after. So the bulk of what made the difference was removing the vegetation from the tank. I had the Java moss was growing everywhere, and I pulled a bunch of that out of there. The Java moss was also growing all through this Java Windelov in here, and I was able to get in there and pull a bunch of that out. I got a bunch of the Java Windelov out of there. In fact, you can actually see to the right side of it, you can actually see the little bit of the cave structure. It's one of those fake plastic caves. Bought that years and years ago. It's been in this tank ever since, and it's been completely covered with Java moss and Java Windelov for a long time. And so now you can actually see some fish swimming in and out of it, so it's getting some use already. The power head was covered in Java moss. The piece of wood right there was covered with the Java moss. It was attached to the ground in a lot of places. The substrate there had the Java moss growing on it. I took a bunch of it out, but you can see I missed a lot of it. And I also noticed while I was in there, I know I have a lot of fry in the tank right now. There's been an explosion of little fry. But when I was doing the water change and I got the water down really low, I was being careful where I used the gravel vac. I discovered there's a lot of little, really, really tiny fry in there. Almost too small to be seen, so at least with my eyes. So I have a lot of red wag platies in there now. I mean, I have a lot of red wag platies to begin with, but now I've got an extra lot. So we'll deal with that, whatever. Maybe I'll catch some sort of little predatory fish to put in there. I actually put that little gourami, who is terrified and hiding in the corner back there at the moment. But I actually got that gourami in hopes that the gourami would take care of the fry problem. But alas, it did not. It does not seem to be too interested in eating all these little fry. The other issue is, you can see all that root mass back there. I know it's really, well, you can kind of get an idea of it. It's really, really thick. There's all kinds of places for fry to hide back there, and that is actually an anubias that's growing in the tank. You can see that again. That was completely covered by all of the pothos plant, and that's what most of those roots back there are, roots from that pothos plant. So I may actually take this out of the tank. I only kind of put it in there as an experiment, and I mean, you can see what it's doing inside the tank. It's taking up tons of real estate, and again, all in the back, those roots are all through there. So I may just pull that pothos plant out of here and just get it back to an open top tank. As far as the filter goes, I did have to remove most of that Java moss that was growing across the front of it, but other than that, it was fairly uneventful, just a basic filter change and cleaning. I do now have a large container full of Java Moss and Java Windelov. So if anybody's looking for either Java Moss or Java Windelov, I now have some. This is the largest single piece I pulled out of there, so that's a pretty significant chunk. This is what I tore off of the back side of this. That's actually two separate pieces there in my hand. So I got that available for sale. You can check out my email down below if you're interested. Again, Java Moss, plenty of Java Windelov, and that unfortunately is about all I have right now is the Java Windelov and the Java Moss. But if you are interested in that, please check out my email down below. Get in touch, and we will get you some plants sent on the way. So thanks for watching this one. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget I do a live stream every Friday and Sunday night. I've finally worked out all of my little growing pains and issues, and so we have nice, smooth running live streams now in 1080 with no issues. So if you're interested, check out my live streams on Friday night, Sunday night, 8 p.m. daylight savings time, because we are back into the light time of the year. So thanks for watching. See you real soon in the next one.